and a warm welcome back to Northampton College. This is our Scania 113 to 143 conversion podcast. We're now on episode 3, so things are moving along now. Big thank you to everybody that's subscribed so far. We do appreciate it. So if you like the video, guys, give us a like, give us a subscribe, help us grow the channel. So let's just have a quick look what we're going to do today. Okay, let's have a look what we're doing today then. Let's have a look. We're going to gain access to the engine. So we're going to need to take things like the mudguard off, aren't we, and stuff like that. Undercab mudguards, that type of thing. We're going to have a look at AC gases. Let's have a look. Just quickly, guys, not get too deep into legislation, but just have a look at how that affected us with a teardown. Recycling, so lots of things we had to take off, guys. Things like the AC compressor. What are we going to keep? What are we going to renew? What are we going to sell? That sort of thing. So we're looking at how we unbolted the gearbox from the engine. Now we've got this gearbox. What are we going to do with it? So this truck's got air conditioning. It's got a 134a system. So a quick brief history. As an apprentice, a lot of the older cars and older trucks had R12, which was a really efficient refrigerant, but it had a huge global warming potential. So they moved that on, and then we went into R134a, and now they've moved along from that, and we're currently running R1234YF. It was a 134a system, but it was running a butane-based gas called high chill. High chill is really efficient, so you don't need the same volume of refrigerant in the system. Okay, John, so I've took the mudguard off the other side, and I'm going to take this one off too. We want to be able to get in close contact. I can't be doing this like this, mate. So I couldn't wait any longer. I've just took the 4 bolts out of that. I've just got it over from the engine. And look, I found them sitting there. Oh my God, and it lines up. I'm getting fat thinking about it. Oh my goodness, that's too much. I can't cope. Oh my goodness. Ready for the V8, look at it, woohoo! Right, let's go around the other side. And if you look there, so there's the same there. Just got to move this over, but I've got all the bracket off the other one. And if I remember, all that bracket was snapped off, but you can see it's going to go straight on this side as well. Oh my God, John, that's just too sexy. I can't cope. Ready for the V8. So I just wanted to share with you guys the hard work that we did just walking up and down stairs. What we decided to do, you got to remember this was kind of like just at the back end of COVID, where we were short on students and we didn't really have too much training going on. So we just used this project, you know, to fill in time and keep us motivated and get ready for, you know, when the end of COVID came. So we're walking up and down stairs. We was absolutely tired. So there's a fly screen, be big flies in Australia. So we left that there. This is a sunroof off the road train. The problem with getting rid of stuff is when it's gone and they become really hard and there's none in wreckers, you're not going to be able to get it again. So my friend down the Gold Coast, who's a big car guy, he stores everything, a little bit of a hoarder. And I think, wow, you've got loads of junk. But now I know why. You can't get that. And he sort of says, no, don't get rid of it because you can't get it again. And he's spot on. So these are the old air deflector kit for better streamline. On the side, off the road train. These are the panels off the side of the cab underneath the steps. And we've got the step panels there. This is a back mudguard. This is what I'm trying to explain in that video to John, to say we're taking this out. Because you can imagine what type of restriction. It looks small on the video, but look at the size of it. I need to get that out so we can get in, get in safely with a forklift. Yeah, loads of junk, and we'll have to eventually get rid of it. There's the old cab floor mat. I'll have to be mercenary soon and get rid of some stuff, but whilst it's sitting there and I don't need the space, it can continue to sit there. But there's loads, all these old air pipes, all these the air pipes going around the truck. I just cut a section from the front just to keep them. Whilst these are things you can buy from any truck spares, this is all the original Scania stuff, so I wanted to keep it as Scania as possible. So yeah. So we've all been there. We've got that really important stage now where we're going to lift this engine out. So prior to doing that, we're just going to have this good look around, walk around. The things that you ignore or the things that you miss are going to catch you out later on, aren't they? So we have to look at things like all the coolant is drained, all the engine oil is out. In this case, there is no engine oil, lucky enough. So we've got this hole in the sump, so there's no engine oil. It's all unbolted from the gearbox. So we've got this big space now between the gearbox and the engine. The gearbox is nicely strapped in the chassis. So we've killed two birds with one stone, which means that we haven't got to find extra storage space for our gearbox. All the fuel pipes are disconnected. The air compressor pipes to the main storage tanks, they're disconnected. The exhaust system, that's all disconnected. Intake system, all disconnected. The accelerator linkage, the electrics, think of all the electrics on this truck. You've got your main battery feed down to the starter motor. You've got your ignition feed down to the starter motor solenoid. You've got the alternator. You've got all your sensors, so the coolant temp sensor, the oil pressure switch, which we're going to utilize to get our 143 oil pressure gauge working. So lots and lots of electrics. So they've all got to come off the engine. We've got the engine mountings, of course. Now we've loosened the bolts, but we haven't lifted the engine up yet, obviously. And of course, we need to make sure that the chain's in the right position. Also, the way the chain is routed, you can quite easily do damage to engine components. Now, I know this engine is essentially scrap to us, even though I want to try and salvage as many parts as I can to help other Scania six-cylinder owners keep their great trucks on the road. The point being is, though, if you don't route the chain properly, as soon as the forklift starts to lift that chain, the chain's going to go tight. And if you've got very fragile components in the way, such as the turbo, which you can see there, there's risk of cracking the compressor housing and that sort of thing. So we've undone our engine mountings, we've got the chain on, and we're just having a good walk around. That one earth strap that you don't disconnect will catch you out when you start to lift the engine out. Okay, so here we are then. We're ready to lift out, and let's get it out and go to the next stage. So the mud guards up on the racking there, and in front of the seats, you can see how wide they are. The actual width, kind of almost, if I was to lift that up, it matches the height of the seat. So you can see why I needed them out of the way. I needed to gain access. It was a time where I couldn't lift the engine out on my own. I needed help. It became dangerous. So that's where I called up my buddy from down at the Gold Coast, John, and he came up to help me lift it out. But you can see there in front of the seats, there's the mud guards stacked on the racking. So, in the classroom at Northampton College, and I'm not saying we've got a one-track mind, but we do like a Scania. Team 143, guys. Let's do this. This is the noise I love. guys, the end of episode 3 already, so I can't believe how quick this has gone. But thanks very much for everybody who's watched. I hope you enjoyed the video. Again guys, give us a like, give us a subscribe, help us build the channel. Okay, yeah, so look forward to seeing you again on the next one guys, and always remember guys, Team 143, let's do this.